Welcome to Conversations with Toy, a blogcast tackling life one episode at a time. This is the time to air out life's craziest moments. This space is all about speaking about life's hang-ups and ways in which we can leave better than when we started. Topics are all about ways we can find space to be better in life, love, mental space, and health.
Happy Friday. I hope that you have had the absolute amazing week. This has been a very interesting. We're going to get into all of that. But have you been noticing? I dropped not one bonus. I dropped 2 bonus episodes. And we've been having back-to-back guests. I'm just saying, in case you've missed a few episodes, you might want to go back. But before we get into all of that, if this is your first time listening to Conversations with Toy, welcome. I am Toy, the podcaster. I'm also a content creator, freelance writer, blogger. I have many titles, but the 2 titles that make me the most proud is being the wife, as well as the mother of 3 amazing children. And let me just say, these last few weeks of all the parents that are holding on to the strength of Gibraltar at this point, when it comes to the fact that school year is almost over, which means them kids is going to stop eating with their school stomachs and start eating with like, hey, can I get 17 different snacks in one given day? So we got to get ready for that. With that also being said, Mother's Day is this weekend. Yes. Mother's Day is this weekend. Let me just talk about it from a few perspectives. And I do this very much often when we get to the Mother's Day episode. I do this extremely often because there's so many different emotions. You have some of the people who desire to be mothers, and for whatever reason, they're just not able to. They've tried everything. They've done everything. They've spent the money. They've hired the best of the best. They've gotten, doctors and every specialist involved. And for whatever reason, their womb just will not carry a baby. And for that, this Mother's Day is just, it can be a sore spot. You have the mothers who desire to be mothers, and then you have the mothers who may have children, but may have lost a child. And that I cannot even imagine. A lot of the things that I think about when it comes to just like end of life things, like, God forbid my parents leave, God forbid a sibling leaves, but to leave or lose a child, I don't wish that pain on anybody. And I just cannot even begin to imagine. My heart always goes out to people who have lost a child, especially if they've lost a child. And then for whatever reason, they choose not to have another, or they just can't, or whatever the case may be, because that is just a loss that has to feel like, just thinking about that it just feels overwhelming. So I have to think about those wonderful people who unfortunately go through these horrible, horrific things. And then you have those who are missing their mother. Maybe their mother has passed, or they don't have a good relationship with their mother. And let me just say this, as I know, every time Mother's Day comes around, we have this huge debate about what people should or shouldn't do when it comes to their parent. And they think that, just because you have this sunshine, bright, sunny relationship with your mother, that if I have a relationship that is not as great, or I am going no contact, which means I'm no longer holding space and having that invited energy into my life from my mother, then therefore something is wrong with me. When people go no contact with their mother or their father or any other family member, they're not doing it because the love of this is some great thing to do. Like, if you go no contact with a parent, a loved one, anybody, you're doing it because you really don't have a choice. And so I really get really irritated when I hear people say, well, that's still your mother. Her title never changes. The title of a mother, and I'm not talking about specifically mine, I'm just saying at the end of the day, titles just don't change, but the relationships can. You can respect somebody without fooling with them. You can respect them by also deciding that I'm not going to fool with them. I'm going to keep space for me and my family, and I'm actually just going to cut off all conversations because maybe you haven't found that conversations with or having a relationship with your parent has been fruitful. And let's just be honest. Anybody honestly can have a baby. There are plenty of men and women out here every single day that lay down and they have sex because they're adult, they're grown, and they do these things, but they're not a parent. They are they have birthed someone, they have brought somebody here, but they are truly not parents in the sense of being nurturing, caring, and taking care of responsibility. They're just not that. And we have got to stop. Sometimes I also feel like some people, they come from their perspective, meaning, let's say my mother passed. Thank God my mother's still here, but let's say my mother passed. And so because I'm feeling that hurt and pain, when I hear somebody else talk about how they don't get along with their mother, the first thing I would want to do is be like, my God, you only get one. You need to treat her better. Listen, all of those things are 100% correct. But they also do not apply when you are in a situation where you're either no contact or don't have a relationship with a parent. You do realize that all the quote unquote bad parents are not just fathers. There are some mothers who stay, they've done all the things that they need to do. They've kept that child alive. They paid the bills. They kept the roof over their head. And some mothers, that's all they care about. They don't care about the fact that they were narcissistic. They don't care about the fact that they were mean. They don't care about the fact that they lacked emotional empathy. They don't care the fact that they don't know how to control their own emotions and have no type of emotional intelligence. All they care about is the fact that at the end of the day, they were there physically, even if they're not there emotionally and mentally. And I don't know who needs to hear this, because it's none of my business to judge. We listen, but we don't judge. But I'm going to be really honest. When you're dealing with a parent, mother or father, but specifically something about those moms that they try to let you know that they've done all these things and they've been all these things to you. If you didn't ask to come here, and I'm just going to keep it 100, nobody asked to come here. Like, this is not something that you sign up for. And so since nobody asked to come here, it's your responsibility to take care of your child. So it's not their responsibility to coddle you. It's your job to make sure you're taking care of your child. And so to hold the fact that you've done something for your child over your child makes zero sense. You can make a conversation about the things, but you don't have to hold anything over anybody's head. Especially when we have to keep it real. It was your choice. Nobody forced you. And for those who have been forced, because there are people who have actually unfortunately been forced to do things that they would not do with the person, individual, and that has brought them a child, they still made a choice. A beautiful choice to keep that child, but they've made a choice. And so I want us to get out of this concept that bad mothers don't exist because we're uplifting mothers, right? We don't have to let the bad mothers outshadow the good that mothers are, but let's stop acting as if bad mothers don't exist, because sometimes I feel like we don't give the same vitriol. We'll give the same vitriol to men on Father's Day, but we don't want to give the same to mothers on Mother's Day. And the reality of it is there are raggedy mothers just like there's raggedy fathers. And I need us to stop going through this drama where we just don't act like we don't know that. Because the reality of it is that this is a true thing. This is very true. This happens all the time. There are bad mothers. There are bad fathers. And we have to stop making excuses for them. I'm not saying that you got to be stomped down, disrespectful to your mother, father, whomever, just because they've said things hurt you in the past. Because pain is a teacher. It's a reminder, but it can't be your dictator. It can be a reminder, but it cannot be your dictator. So yes, forgiveness is not for your other people. It's for yourself. It's to free you so that you can live a life that's in peace, that you don't have to be in pieces as you're putting your life back together. Okay. So yes, it's Mother's Day, and there's so many wonderful things that moms would want. I can't speak for all mothers. I cannot speak for all mothers. What I will say is that most mothers want to feel that appreciation. It would be nice to feel that appreciation every single day. You know how moms really want to feel appreciated every single day? They want to hear the thank yous because they deserve, right? But they also want help around the house when we all live together, right? It's one thing when, like I told my kids, my oldest is about to be 16. My youngest is about 11. And so it's like when they were younger, I did all the pickup, cleaning up, did all the things. But now they're at the age where they can wash clothes. They can clean up their spaces. They can take out the trash. They can take and handle responsibility because that is just how life works. But showing appreciation outside of Mother's Day, where all the flowers and fanfare happens, is picking up after yourself. Cleaning up without having to be told, having less of an attitude just because you don't agree with something. Like, those are ways that you can really show up for mom. But moms do and may want an actual gift. They may want some type of token of appreciation, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I really need us to get out this ideology that you cannot simply ask for the things that you may want or desire. It doesn't mean that you're going to get all of them. It doesn't mean any of that, but you should also know what your person or persons in your life would want. And so I'm not against mothers saying, I would like, and I would, these are some great ideas. These are some things I would like, let's try to make this happen. Because for me, in my house, I can't speak for everybody else, but in my house, I make Father's Day just as special, just as big as he would make for Mother's Day, because I feel like it's important to show the celebration of fathers. But when we're talking about mothers for Mother's Day, we got to find a way to do some type of do better, because this concept that you can only get bare minimum as a mom, it does not make sense. My birthday happens to be on this particular Saturday, which is mañana, tomorrow. And with my birthday being tomorrow, I will be spending some time by myself, probably Saturday and Sunday, because I deserve a time to go do the things that make me happy outside of being a mom. I get it. There are some people that want to hang with their children all day on Mother's Day because, that's the reason why you're a mom, and your kids may want to spend time with you. There's nothing wrong with that. But I also feel like there has to be some level of balance. And for me, I'm choosing to spend a few hours by myself. Doesn't mean I have to spend the full day. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do things with my family. But it does mean that if I need to have a couple hours, or if I just want to sleep in, honest to goodness, I'm looking forward to actually just sleeping in on Sunday. Sleeping in without the need to get up and make breakfast for everyone, the need to manage everybody's time and space. Like, those are the things that I'm looking forward to when it comes to things like Mother's Day. And also show some kindness. We don't know what everybody's fight is and their battle is emotionally and spiritually and mentally, because we just don't. And so where you might find somebody less reserved, especially on high days like this, people are struggling with different things in their minds and their hearts. Again, if you've lost your mom, it could be 20 years ago, it could be 30 years ago, that pain doesn't go away. And when you have a holiday such as Mother's Day, it literally puts it right back into your face, because you're thinking, if I would have another chance to do A, B, and C, I would treat my mother and do things for her and do this and do that. And the reality is that your reality made that you may never be able to make that phone call across any waters, if you won't be able to call her because she won't be here. And that is a pain, again, that I have to say I emphasize, but I don't understand it fully because I haven't gone through it. Do I understand it from a distance and understand the fact that it exists and understand that pain is real? 1000%. But since I haven't gone through it, let me just change the words. I have not physically gone through that, praise the Lord, as of yet. And so because I haven't gone through it, there are so many parts of just the grieving process that I don't fully understand. Now, I did, and I have been there and continue to be there for my husband as he has lost his mother. And watching him go through the things that he has gone through has been very eye-opening and changing, because it's a lot. I see the struggle that he goes through. Wanting to have that conversation, wanting to have that last interaction one more time, wanting all of these different things. Mother's Day is a beautiful way to express the love that you have for the mother and the mother figure of your world. And I said this on TikTok, and I mean every bit of it, is that we cannot continue. We simply cannot continue to be in a situation when it comes to Mother's Day where we just say, okay, if you were a husband, you have your wife. Your wife obviously is not your mother, but you have children with her. And so you don't get her anything because you feel like she's not your mom. And so you focus on your mom. Okay. There's two things wrong with this. Well, I'll just say one biggest thing wrong with this is that you can do both. Both can still be true. You can still honor and do the things you need to do to honor your mother, but also honoring the mother of your children. The fact that she has given a sacrifice and continues to get up and sacrifice and do the things that even you don't want to do, can't do, or just simply are just like, I'm not going to do. Mothers step in and fill the gap. And even with all that being said, we can't highlight and uplift all moms, because all moms don't deserve that. You can't be abusive and be, the type of person that's causing major destruction in people's lives and then want people to still reach out and say, I love you. Like, I can care about you and I can still do all those things from afar. And these are things that I'm suggesting that are not easy. Me saying, oh, well, you don't have to just move on. You can just get a different life. That's not reality. Moms deserve all the things. I don't know if you're the mother in your life that loves flowers. I don't know if the mother in your life wants a staycation, which means, staying at a hotel in the city or the town that you live in, so you can have your own peace. Let me just explain something to you. Something about that quiet, something about that peace that literally is a blessing. You will feel everything when you have that love, when you have that peace. And for moms, having that peace and knowing that their love is two of the things that they would seek the most. And everybody seeks it differently physically, but everybody desires to have that in their world, every last one. So I'm just saying, I get it. Mother's Day is literally here. It's around the corner, and we have to start thinking about those things. But I want us to make sure that we're doing the right things when it comes to making sure that moms are appreciated, that they're not just appreciated for this one day, that we try to do better to help them around the house and make sure they get all the things done. And I am a mom, so I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from the fact that leading up to this interview, I've asked different moms, what do you want? What do you want to have happen for Mother's Day? And some people gave, really elaborate, or what I would consider elaborate ideas. And then some people gave some of the most sincere and basic ideas. Listen, my heart goes out to the moms that my heart goes out to the most is going to be those single moms, because where I can lean on my husband to say, okay, I'm going to take this break. Hey, my kids also are old enough that they can kind of monitor and manage themselves as well to a certain extent. But in the same breath, there are single moms who don't have the ability to have a partner or somebody that's going to come and be as hands-on. And so when moms need that break, when moms need that ability to digress, and when she needs to just like fill up her cup before she can continue to pour out to other people, sometimes, just sometimes, it can be a little rocky. I want us to focus on making sure that, again, that we're looking at what does mom really want? How can I show my care and my love and concern? How are some tangible, but also some things that are not tangible ways of being able to honor the mother and the woman in my life? And maybe your mother has passed on. Maybe your mother passed away before you was even born. There are a lot of people who go through that. They have never had a relationship with their mother, have never in a relationship had a relationship with like a sister, or like they just don't have that same dynamic. And so I want us to get to the point where we make it extremely comfortable that we recognize a friend is going through something, or we see another mother going through something. You see her putting herself down. You see her saying all these things that just don't make any sense. I want us to be a little bit better at making sure that we speak up and make sure that we help and honor that mother. So, because listen, nothing is worse. I mean, legitimately nothing in this life is worse than feeling like you're by yourself in a situation. That's literally how postpartum can feel for those who are in that postpartum way, or those who desire to be in that postpartum way by way of children. It can be debilitating when you are trying to reach out, tell people, hey, I'm on this boat, but I'm like struggling and the water's only going down on my side. And for whatever reason, nobody's paying me any attention. I need us to do better to make sure that these mothers and mothers all around us are fully and full-fledged taken care of, that they lack for nothing, they want for nothing. Okay. But I have a few guests to bring on this episode. And these are my children as they talk about motherhood, and we'll talk about to them. And each conversation with each child will differ. Each conversation with each child will sound differently because, again, we're taking consideration their children. They're growing, they're understanding, they're learning. And I have no idea what they'll say. And I love that. I want them to just say whatever is freely, because here in our home, we are very adamant about the fact that, one, our kids can say, hey, I don't like the way that you said that, respectfully. Let's just say respectfully. If they're in the heat of the moment and they want to come and they want to get hype and they're like coming towards my person, or they're trying to be aggressive, or they're being aggressive in their behavior, as a mom, I'm going to then diffuse the situation first before I can even speak on what the situation is. Kids don't hear when you yell. I've learned that so many times over and over again. Kids just don't learn how you yell when you yell. So you got to find ways to interact with them. So that's going to be fun. I can't wait. This weekend, again, it's going to be good. My kids are going to be on this episode, so if you just stay for a little bit longer, you'll be able to hear them talk about their interactions with me as a mom, good, bad, or indifferent, and I'm okay with that. that I'm okay with, because my kids deserve to use their voice, and they have the floor. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring in each child individually, because bringing them collectively, I just tell you right now, is going to go left. So we're going to bring each child in individually. I will introduce each child, and then we'll go forward, right? Because these kids probably have lots to say about their mom. All right, like I said, each of my kids are now a part of this podcast. Each of them are going to, and this is unrehearsed. Like, I literally just said, "Come on, are you willing to be on here?" And they're just like, "Yes." So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start from youngest all the way to the oldest. So this is my youngest daughter. This is Miss Noelle. Noelle, welcome to Conversations with Toy.
Hi.
Typical 11-year-old. Love that for me. Love that for you. All right. So you're not going to be famous. Okay, you can do all the things. So let's talk about Mother's Day is on Sunday. What has been some of the things that has been the most impactful that you feel like it's a good thing about me being your mom?
I like how you clean. I like how you are you're very pretty. You're very kind. You have a really good heart. You're very sweet. I feel like you're very strong. You very much get your point across, and you're very independent, which I think is really good, because that's teaching me how to be independent, and I think that's honestly really good.
What is one thing, if you had to choose, that I would need to improve on? What would that be?
Yelling at me.
All right. And how would you think I would be able to do that?
Just like, I don't really know. Like, I mean, it does some parts that I need to fix.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There are some parts I need to fix. But, like, I feel like you're just, like, kind of, like, quick to, like, react.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that you could do better on that.
Cool.
But I think you're doing okay.
I love that for me. With Mother's Day being on Sunday, what is one gift suggestion you would give to a kid about what they can get for their mom?
I think flowers is a nice thing. But if you want something like more, I like to give you like candy. Not gonna lie. I like giving people candy. I feel like moms like candy, and also probably just flowers, because I think all moms like flowers.
Some people don't, but that's a good observation.
And a card.
All right. Well, that ends your time here with Conversations with Toy. What do you have to say to the people?
Boy, Sigma Whistler.
Yeah, we're going to end on that. All right. So we have heard from my youngest daughter, that was Miss Noelle, all of her crazy energy. But now it is time to bring on my son. He is the middle child, the teenager. He's all the things. Great student, great ball player. Hi, MJ.
Hi, Mom.
How are you?
I'm all right. A little bit tired.
Did you work today?
No.
Okay, because I was wondering, because I didn't see you go to work today and cash no checks or nothing. First of all, it's Mother's Day this weekend.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
Present.
I love to hear that. Love that for me. What are some of the things that you think about when you think about me being your mom?
A lot of love. A lot of love. Just love. That's pretty much it.
Oh, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's a lot. Everybody needs love. What is one thing that you feel that I can improve on?
Improve on? I don't know.
You're so sweet, but something that I can improve on. Noelle gave me one.
The way you sometimes word things I don't like, but you still do. You're doing a better job.
A better job at wording.
Better job.
Okay, what do you mean by wording?
Wording as in how you say things. Like, instead of telling me, like, do this, and like this, like, I don't know how to word it, but like in your wording, like how you deliver like commands and stuff. So sometimes.
Okay. Now, with Mother's Day coming up, if there was a child that was listening, what would you tell them to get their mother for Mother's Day?
A lot of love. Just say thank you. Maybe do like let her just rest your feet.
For the child to get to their mother.
Yes,
okay.
Like let the mother rest their feet, and
because I had questions, and y'all rest your feet enough
all the time.
Okay,
and just make sure you tell your mother you appreciate her. Maybe like do the dishes. Don't make sure she has to like clean up after you. Just be the best kid you can.
I love that, Fro. You gonna do that for me too?
Yeah.
All right. See, I love that more than all things.
Okay.
All right. Last thing, if anything you would like to say to the people?
6'7".
Yeah, and that, my friends, is my son. As you can see, the personalities are definitely different. And if you have any teenagers in the house, hearing things like Skippity Rizzler, 6'7", you're going to hear it. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. All right. Thank you, MJ.
All right. Bye.
And last but definitely not least, this is the first child, the first baby, the first person to actually make me a mom.
Hey!
I didn't even say your name yet.
Oh.
Jesus be offense. This is my daughter, Naila. If you know anything about me, if you've ever seen me and her, you know that we are like mini-me's. She is like the splitting image of myself. It's almost like she stole my entire face. Welcome to the podcast, Naila.
Hey! Hey, mommy.
Hello, my daughter. So, being the eldest child, we're gonna talk about something. We're gonna talk about a lot of heavy topics because you're older now. So you're almost 16. You're old enough. We can have conversations. We have conversations offline as we do now online.
Yeah.
This is the first time you've been on any project with me.
I've photographed all of your photos and like for the blog and stuff.
Okay, not all, but a significant amount if we're at an event.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're not always with me.
Yeah, no.
Okay. She tries desperately to get all the credit about apparently she does all my photos, and I'm like, that's not what happened.
Not all of them.
If you are with me,
right,
then yes,
she has. You've been going to a lot of 21 and up events lately, which I think is like real disrespectful because I can't go. And it'd be real fun too.
Nyla, I can't help if the PRs are giving us restrictions. You're acting as if I said no, you can't ever come with me.
It's a shame.
Anywho, she being the oldest has the one that does usually gets the first invite. I try to bring it from like the top all the way down. Or if there's something that sparks an interest of each of the children, I allow them to go to things that I feel like sparks their interest. Because I feel like asking my child to come to something, any of the kids, and it's something that they don't like, I feel like it's just like, it doesn't help you. It doesn't help anybody. And as a content creator, I've been really fortunate to be able to do a lot of things that benefit myself, obviously, but benefits my family in some way. Whether it's us, I'm not going to lie. There's been times in the summertime where I've had to pay literally nothing for a lot of the activities that we have done. But in the drawback, it's content creation. So while they get to sleep and they get to come and enjoy the events, they go home and they're sleeping, I'm up editing such content and all the things. My daughter is spinning around this chair. Can you turn yourself around just for a little bit? Okay. You know, just join us. Put your baby toe in there. Just join us for a little bit. Okay. As the first daughter, I've been seeing some things on the TikTok, and she does not have TikTok, but she does have somehow access to my things on TikTok. There's been conversations, and you may not be old enough, but I kind of want to see what your thought process is when people say that the oldest child, usually the oldest daughter, suffers the most. When you hear somebody say that, what do you think that means? And there's no right or wrong answer. I literally just want to pick your brain to hear what your thoughts are.
Suffers the most? I don't know about all that. I think that as the oldest child, a lot of responsibility goes on you. And like, especially with younger siblings, like responsibility, making sure they're okay and like being a good role model. But suffers the most? Probably not really.
Now, here's where the blessing is for you.
Right.
Different from what the other young ladies it's usually the grown people, because normally when you get to the point where you start talking about suffering or anything that's happening, it's because you've lived a little bit. And you ain't even touched the baby surface of live. You just coming into things. Why are we doing that with our arms?
Practicing.
She has no license, but in here driving an imaginary car.
No.
I really wish sometimes I'd record these podcasts. Like, I really wish I would video some of this stuff sometimes. Because at this point, stuff like this, there's some stuff like this needs to be seen. Like, it can't just be me just seeing this foolishness. It cannot. I'm just trying to. You have no car.
got to get my permit.
You have no car.
That is to change the permit.
You have no permit and you have no car. I'm not going back and forth with you. This is like a normal, and this is like literally every day with her. So here's the blessing of what you're saying. And everything that I believe you said is 1000% correct about the responsibility, making sure that you're a good role model, all those things. Here's what the things that they were saying. If you grew up in my age, I'll be 44 this upcoming Saturday. No, 45. Jesus. I'm 44. Am I 44?
You're 44.
I'm 43 right now. And on Saturday,
you'll be 44.
I'll be 44. Somebody got to be able to praise the Lord. Okay.
You should know how old you are.
Listen, I don't need your judgment. Okay. Right. We listen and we don't judge.
Exactly.
What they're talking about is like the mothers putting this pressure on them where they're like mean-spirited. They don't like try to be equal. They're making the oldest child raise the youngest. Do you feel like you're raising your siblings?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
And I love that for you because that you didn't have them, and I feel like you need to have that ability to grow up.
Yeah.
Right. I love that.
I know my friends a lot. They hang with their friends. Equally get time to spend like apart from each other, so it's not like if one of my siblings does something that I gotta do it too, because also I gotta do that. So especially with Marques, he's doing basketball every 8.6 seconds. My goodness.
What are some of the things that you feel? I'm going to ask the same questions that I asked your siblings. When you think about me personally being your mom, what are some of the things that comes to your mind?
That you're like very loving and understanding, and like. Oh, I was writing this report for English class, and it was like, what do you think a good mother, like a good parent is? And it was something, I just repeated something you had said that just because you had your kids doesn't mean you can like disrespect them. I think you live by that a lot. Like true, like children should respect their like parents and stuff, but like at the same time, you can't just be like saying whatever, which like I think you do a really good job of doing, and like make sure that you're calm with us and like making sure that you're not treating us like we're like two adults talking. Like even though I'm getting older, like I'm still like younger than you. It's like great.
Oh yeah, you're not grown.
Oh, that too. Not where I was going, but
I'm just saying, just so you know. I'm not trying to be your best friend either. I'm trying to like be your parent.
Yeah.
So
you do a great job like balancing both of those at the same time.
Yeah, I mean I'm friendly, but you know when people say I'm not one of your little friends, like I'm not one of your little friends. But in the same token, I don't try to disrespect you. I try to make sure that I treat you like a human being, because that's not something that I feel like our parents. I swear, one of these days I'm going to record, especially if I have like I don't normally have a guest like in house, but the fact that I have 3 guests in house and they're doing the most, and this is the thing, their personalities are so different. The only one of the 3 that came down here doing the most, and for those who are like, I never knew she would be like that. It's this one.
I'm great.
Nobody did say you wasn't great.
Okay, so y'all can't see, but my mom has like 3 different water bottles over here. So I wanted to sip of her water bottle. Instead of interrupting the podcast and going, can I have a drink of water? I just opened my mouth and she just knows that I want a drink of water.
You good now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let the Lord use you. Can I have my cup back? That's the reason why I keep them down here, so you don't steal them.
They're very gorgeous cups.
They are gorgeous cups. So yeah, I really appreciate you saying that. That really does make me feel good. If you could say one thing that I could improve on, what would that improvement be?
I can't even think of nothing.
Well, dig deep, because there's always room for improvement.
I don't really know. You really don't. You just be like, I don't know. There's never really improvement I can think of. Like, I don't really think there's anything to like grow on or improve on or anything. It's just like you, my mama, and I'm like, oh, okay, eat that up. You know.
Love that, Naila. This Jesus be
up, I guess. I don't know.
We're gonna pray for you, putting you at the top of the prayer list, like literally at the top.
Right.
Of the actual prayer list.
Exactly.
My question for you, now that you're getting older,
That's a lot of questions.
Didn't I say you was the main guest?
I did say that. You just.
You know what? You're the. This is why you
continue. Go ahead. Eat that up.
Yeah, you're not gonna come on here no more.
No, I got this.
as you're getting older, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to doing or being like? What are some of the things that you're thinking about looking forward to when it comes to like me and your relationship?
Driving in the car together.
I'm gonna pray about that. I'm never getting in that car. I'm not. You're gonna go to driving school because the Spirit God did not tell me. He did not die on that cross for me to get on that car with you and let you just be driving me all willy nilly until you get behind one of the professional.
No, I'm with it.
You are
so
with
excited.
it. I'm not. But go ahead. Continue on.
I'm so excited for us to take long drives together. Because, like, I'll be older. I mean, I can go to more of these events. Meaning that I'll be like the designated driver. It'll be great.
Why do I, girl? Anyway, what else, child?
Oh, what else? Let's see. Definitely asking you for help when we go to like, since I'm going to college soon, I think that since you already been to college and whatnot, I think that I'll be excited to see what advice you have for me and like traveling that new era of my life since I'll be living on my own. I have to work on getting up in the morning. I can't have no morning classes.
Let me tell you right now, because the Spirit of you do not do well with morning classes. I don't know what you finna do. Just so you know, freshmen usually don't get too much of leeway. Your stuff usually just gets put in there however they get put in there. I'm gonna say that openly because I don't want you to play yourself and get to school and then be like, oh, nobody let me do you got to earn your stripes.
You're not with it.
What?
I said I'm not with morning classes. I can't really get up. I get up, I just fall back to sleep. That's my problem. Like if I get up, I can't really stay up unless I got like motivation.
Yeah, no, I don't. No, so I'm a morning person.
Ooh, my nails get off.
We don't need to know that. We're still recording. I liked what you said about getting older, going to college, spending more time. I don't know. I think as a mom, since you're my first, I think as a mom, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I was extremely scared having you.
Yeah.
And then you were born 6 weeks early.
Just pop up to the world like, what up?
Yeah, that's not, that wasn't it. Nonetheless, you came early. And I think that was really scary for me because I did everything I could try to do to quote unquote prepare. If you've never listened to this podcast, I've shared the story millions of times about how the second that I found out I was pregnant, I did everything. Like I started putting money to the side, building up my savings account, doing things like going to parenting classes because I've babysat my entire life. I could change a baby's diaper. I could keep a baby clean.
No, I babysit.
Yes, you do. You do a great job. I do all these different things, but that's like the surface level of being a parent. Like making sure that your emotions are good and making sure if you need something, like that is a lot to try to manage. And so with you being my first child and you becoming a little older and being able to verbalize and like speak up about things, it's really important that I don't tell you what to do. And what's one of the two, there's a couple things that I don't know, this is kind of hard, but there's a couple things that I tell you about life. When it comes to getting in relationships and having children, what's the first things I'm going to tell you?
Don't have kids until you have passport stamps and like you travel the world and like had solo trips and like girl trips and stuff. So like you never look back after you had these children and be like, oh, I wish I did this, and that.
I'm doing my job as a parent. If you didn't hear her, I tell my kids, don't be out here having no kids and running around here trying to have kids in your early 18s and 20s and all that stuff. First of all, I am not old enough to be anybody's grandmama. I don't care what. I didn't have her. I didn't have you until I was 28. Almost 30, child. I was not trying to, I was trying to be responsible out here. But I always tell my kids, like, get out here in this world and, like, see the world. Visit. Go to different countries. Get your passport stamps. Have girls trips. Have solo trips. Like, know yourself first. It's super important. What do I tell you about how your decision-making process and making me happy? What do I tell you about that?
That you're not always going to make me, you're not going to, I'm not going to always make you happy, but if I'm happy, you're happy.
That's one part of it. What's the second part? Jesus,
I forgot.
So the second part is we're gonna forgive you because we put you on the spot. The second part of it is that yes, you're not gonna make me happy, and so if you're happy, I'm happy. But here's the other part. In your decision making process, a lot of kids do these decisions making on Like if my mother always wanted me to be a doctor, so I become a doctor to make that person happy. But the real reality of it is that if your heart is not in it, and if it's not something that you truly want to do, you trying to make a parent happy and making yourself unhappy means that you're truly never going to walk in your purpose. So my thought process is, if you do the things that you feel are bringing you closer to your purpose, and in that decision making process, you're going to make the mistakes that you're going to make just being human. I'm not asking you to make the decisions that you feel I would be happy about, because you have to have your own path.
Ate that up?
Yeah, I did. But you can't go, there's places you cannot go, and that's to jail, hell, anything like that. None of that. Right. Don't do that. Right. You got to be a good citizen. Like, that is the goal.
I volunteer weekends.
Ma'am.
I volunteer all the time. You know?
Okay, well, we're talking about as you grow older, you can make decisions like getting in a car and driving drunk and doing stuff like that. Like making good decisions so that you can be a good citizen. Because your life can change in a second of a decision-making process.
Very true.
All right. So we're going to end you out and say, what are some of the things that if there was a child, a teenager that's listening and they've said to themselves, it's Mother's Day weekend. Yes.
Oh, my bad. I just
And you can shout out, not your school name, but you can shout your friends out if you want to do that after we're almost done. You can shout your friends out in a minute if you choose to. But my question is, if there's a teenager that's listening right now and they're thinking like, what can they give their mom as a gift? What are those things you think that your mom, or not just your mom specifically, because I'm pretty much generally the same type of stuff, but a mom in general with one.
A journal.
You know it. I want a book, a journal, and a planner.
Yeah.
Yes, you know your mom. Okay, but regular moms.
Regular moms.
I am a regular mom, but you know what
I mean. Right. Probably just free time. I think moms work a lot, so just free time by herself is great. That and flowers. Flowers are really nice. And like maybe like a spa trip or something, or like a that's just like a me mama day. You know, what's that called? How do I say that?
A me day, me time.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
That and like I don't know, like it just depends on every mom, because you just be wanting anything under the sun. So
who
it just
what type of tell the people what type of stuff I would want.
You like a book every like I don't even know how you read this many books. I'm telling y'all right now, it might not seem like it, but my mama read like 3 books a week. I'm like, I'm just on the same book from 2nd grade. I'm so confused.
Now you need to stop that line about the 2nd grade. That's raggedy as hell.
She has a whole bookshelf over here. I don't know.
I love books. I'm a bookie. I'm like a book nerd.
A nerd, yes. Apparently, I'm a nerd. I don't think I'm a nerd.
Okay, what else?
I think that's really it. Just free time, because moms really do need it. Like, especially don't stress your mom out on Mother's Day. It's like their one day to like relax. You know, their one day just be not a mom and really just a woman with kids. Ooh,
ooh, you ate with that?
Wait a minute, that ate down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was good. I'm really philosophical.
You know what? I'm sick of you.
I'm really philosophical. What's that word?
I'm not doing this with you today.
What's that word?
Nope. Look it up in the dictionary and look up the meaning. I'm not doing this. You know how I feel about words. You saying stuff wrong. Say it correctly. You look it up. Look up the definition. You say it to me in a sentence and say it correctly. I'm gonna say the same thing. As a book nerd, I'm not playing these games with you.
I'm really a genius. There we go.
I love that for you. Yeah. It's not really coming out right now. It's taking a backseat. It's in the room with us.
Right.
Genius is in the room with us. It's just not. It's not on you right now. It's in the room.
Right.
I love that for you. Is there any last words you would like to say to the people before I send you on your way?
Oh, hey y'all. You know, I don't really like my friends listen to your podcast because they don't play it. I'm like, God, I know my mama's voice.
Why you don't want them to help my numbers?
No. Okay, I love the fact that your podcast is growing, but I just don't want them to feel like it's growing, you know? Because then they'd be like, no, you got all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I guess. Sure.
Okay, anything last to say to the people before I send you on your way? Because apparently you not hearing.
Oh, have a good mommy's day. Make sure that you like drink your water. I gotta drink more water. Make sure you drink more water, and make sure you get your rest. And That even if you're having a tough day, it doesn't have to be a bad day.
Love that. All right.
Really philosophical. They're philosophical.
Use it in a sentence.
I'm philosophical when I said my
Get out. Get out. Thank you so much for listening to my wonderful children. We're going to end this with the oldest. Like I said, I started off with the youngest, Noelle, MJ, and Naila. God bless them. Thank you guys for being a part of the podcast, and stay tuned for as I end the podcast for everyone else.
Thank you as always for joining me, and I know that even in the deepest or joyful conversations that there's something we can learn and apply. Until next time, I hope that you are doing better. If not, we will be back to talk some more and handle it. Peace to you and yours. Stay grounded.